Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM 106.3, great to welcome from the Paraparaumu Raumati Community Board, Guy Burns. Good morning, Guy.
Good morning, and great to be here.
Great to have a chat to you, and we've got to talk about the gateway. You were the guy who was ringing the bell about the gateway quite some time ago. The $2.23 million has come through, not interestingly enough from the PGF, but apparently from the Shovel Ready project money pile, and this is anything but shovel ready, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it sort of doesn't really matter where it's come from. I think it's all provisional growth money at the end of the day. Shovel ready, yeah, we could argue all day what shovel ready means, but I think the main point is that we're looking at the cost for ratepayers of at least $2.23 million. Then there's the ongoing cost of 2 full-time staff and maintenance and so forth, and the loss of car parks down there, and also just a whole change of ambience for that Maclean Park area, a huge great building put in with a very poor consultation process. But in saying that, it hasn't been decided. Only it's been, the green light's been given for the funding, but the red light can be switched on quickly by councillors when they look at the whole big picture. The business plan's got to be presented to them, then they have the chance to vote against it, and I think they need to. Even though surprisingly the money was given and there's significant community opposition, and that's one of the prerequisites for the funding, but never mind. Besides that, the councillors themselves have got to study this one very carefully, listen to the public, and they have to make that decision, and the decision they make, if they're not careful, could come back to haunt them.
You say the business case. Do you believe a business case exists?
Well, they're creating one, so it's a funny situation, isn't it? You normally, in the real world, you actually got to present a business case before you do anything else. Before you put all the investment of time and money into things like resource consents and all those myriad of bureaucratic processes you've got to go through. So we haven't got a business case, and straight away that's got to raise the shackles of a lot of people. So you're right, there is a danger a business case could be tailored to fit, so to speak, just as like the numbers being quoted by the councillors and council staff of 300% increase in visitors numbers, using numbers such as that, creative accounting, creative storytelling, creative business cases. Yeah, that is a danger, but I'm saying this now, that when that business case comes, it will be studied very carefully, and I think we'll soon be able to spot a red herring in there if there is one.
Well, certainly there'll be a lot of study in this, and the Mayor seemed to imply that the consultation, the renewed consultation, will begin today. So it's the consultation or the conversation will continue about the gateway. And no doubt you and the community board would like to be part of that.
Oh, definitely, and we are part of it. We represent the community. The community has come to us, and there's been a huge lobbying to us against the gateway. We've had some people lobbying for it, some ex-councillors and friends of council, but overall, the community, one of obviously the business operators who work down there, they're right against it. So now's the time to use that energy, use that pressure, and to keep it going. The consultation has been going on for the last few months, as we all know, and the Mayor's just using nice metaphors and terminology to frame it to suit his agenda.
Let's move on to the airport, Guy, because I'm sure you've got some views on that. Stuff yesterday reported that the future of the airport is uncertain. I know there's been some discussions going on, and of course changes of ownership, which always makes people nervous. Add to that, I imagine, a little bit of political scuttlebutt, which is circulating at the moment. Nevertheless, there appears to be question marks over the airport, and that must concern the community board.
Oh, it definitely does. I mean, it's been a question mark ever since the day it was sold to a private developer, as opposed to the local aero club, which put in a very similar amount figure for the bid. So yes, it's definitely a major topic.
Before we go on, because obviously you've got some idea about that, I've always had concerns about the process by which the airport was diverted or divested from public hands to private hands. And I know that there's various iwi voices have been concerned about that over the years. Basically, land that was taken by Public Works Act should at the very least be offered back to the original owners. And it just seemed to me to be a very shonky process. What's your view of it?
Well, I totally agree. I think that the process was flawed. Public land which has been acquired by acquisition should be offered back to the previous owners before it's offered to sale to anyone else, or particularly to Maori iwi. So the whole process was shoddy, and also what was shoddy was that the property developer who got the successful bid only bid a couple of dollars more than the Aero Club. So it makes you wonder whether there's some sort of secret sort of taps on the shoulder going on somewhere. But that's in the past, and it's very hard to rectify it because it's gone into private ownership. It's very hard once it's in private ownership to restart the process again and offer it back to the original owners. It's virtually impossible.
I believe that the council of the time had the opportunity of buying it for $1 million. It seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Yes, I heard that too. They could have bought it. I would be a little bit careful with that. I don't think council would be the right organisation to run an airport or to even to make money out of it. It could turn into a white elephant for them. I think the Aero Club would have been better off buying it. People who got the passion, the knowledge, and the commitment to flying machines, they would have been the people to run that.
And here we go. We've had several ownership, of course, Noel Robinson, that many of us know, then Todd Properties, and now we've got another outfit which apparently is examining its options. Do you think that the community needs to have a seat at the table at any discussions?
Well, that's an interesting question, and it's you really got to look at the whole big picture. I can see 2 points of view actually, and I don't know where I actually stand on it all. But the one extreme is that you've got a big open space. It's been there for not 100 years, but not far off it, and it's a natural sort of cherished space between Raumati Beach, Paraparaumu Beach, and the village area. It breaks up our area, and it's actually quite nice. It gives us a nice feel about it. So, but the other side of the coin, well, it is land. It's potential there to be developed. Is it really a good place to have an airport in the middle of suburbia? And I suppose the third point that comes to mind as I'm speaking is that strategically it is actually potentially a backup airport for Wellington Airport in case something goes wrong there. So it's a whole mix of views in there, and it has to be a big conversation going on about it. But I'm not sure if even the council can stop that land being developed for private property ownership because of the way the planning legislation is written. People can just say, oh yeah, the council can just zone it, so they can't be used, but that could be an illegal act in itself. So there's a lot of dialogue has to go through before we have any idea what is going on.
Do you know anything about the owners, the current owners of the airport? Do you know who they are?
No idea, not at all. No. I have heard they're property developers. They're pretty savvy business people out to make a buck, and that was always the case from the time from when Murray Cole bought it. It's been held by people who make money out of developing property, and that's slowly but surely the direction it's going to go to, isn't it? By the look of it.
Well, Guy, you very ably put out 3 positions about the airport, and I just wonder where you sit. Do you think that we should die in a ditch over retaining the airport?
Well, my personal view, and it's just it's a view which is sort of I'm not 100% committed to, but I would like to see that space remain somehow, and ideally. For me, maybe if the central government took ownership of it again and kept it like a backup airport for Wellington, and it would be sort of not funded, but it would be run by central government using taxpayer money. There's no way the council should even look at buying it or trying to get involved there. We're not set up for that. We provide local body core services. We don't run airports.
Guy Burns, it's been entertaining and informative once again. Thank you so much. All the best. Bye.
106.3 Beach FM.